we've got some new, never-before-seen gameplay for Hogwarts Legacy that has just been released. We also just got some major casting announcement news for Hogwarts Legacy that confirmed that Phineas Nigellus Black, the headmaster at Hogwarts, will be played by none other than the legendary Simon Pegg. Now, we also got some news for other voice actors confirmed. So we're going to talk about all the actors as well as their respective roles in this game, as well as give you guys some details regarding Phineas Nigellus Black that you do not want to miss. So in this video, we're going to go over all of the new information that has been revealed about the game in the last week or so, and we'll also discuss the possibility of a gameplay showcase coming up in the next couple of weeks. I have to wait for the marketing campaign to kind of cross the finish line, so definitely stick around until the end of the video for those details. And be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for future updates like this one. Also, guys, we're inching very close to 90,000 subscribers, so don't forget to enter. I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 and a copy of Hogwarts Legacy or a game of your choice, and I will have the full details later on in the video. So first and foremost, let's get to the biggest news of the day, and that is the confirmation that Simon Pegg has officially joined Hogwarts Legacy as the headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black. Hogwarts Legacy's Twitter account posted, "Join Simon Pegg as he dives deeper into the world of Hogwarts Legacy and shares what it was like playing the headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black." We also got a character card revealed for him, so we're going to talk about those details right now. So the card states this, and I quote, "Phineas Nigellus Black, who to this day remains the least popular headmaster that Hogwarts has ever known. He makes little effort to hide the utter disdain that he has for his students. He is cantankerous, lazy, vain, pure blood, with a myopic view of the world, and a condescending, unjustifiably superior attitude. Wildly ill-suited to his job, his goal is to do the least amount of work possible and avoid exposure to the student body, preferring to focus on his status in the wizarding world and his surgically managed career." I always thought that Simon Pegg would fit perfect for the wizarding world, and I'm so glad that he's going to be playing Phineas Nigellus Black, which is why he will likely be one of my favorite characters in this game. Now, along with that, we got some more casting announcements for Hogwarts Legacy. Sebastian Croft as one of the playable characters, Amelia Gething as another playable character, Leslie Nicole as Professor Matilda Weasley, Candace Kane as Professor Onai, Sam Capilla as Professor Sabayati Shah. I hope I pronounced that right. Next up, we've got Luke Youngblood as Everett Clopton, Asif Ali as Mirinda Palawan. Once again, pronunciation is probably bad. Jason Anthony as Nearly Headless Nick and the Sorting Hat. And then, of course, the legendary narrator Jim Dale, who is the narrator for the Hogwarts Legacy promotional trailers. Now, as you may have heard, Hogwarts Legacy's pre-order numbers are phenomenal, way higher than I think all of us were even expecting them to be, even though we knew it was going to be big. But given how much controversy there seems to be surrounding the game's development and launch, Hogwarts Legacy has already spent a decent amount of time at the #1 spot on Steam's top seller page, which is ridiculous when you consider that this game isn't even out yet. Industry insiders have also suggested that console pre-order numbers are through the roof, and if all of these numbers are accurate, Hogwarts Legacy will be the biggest game launch of the year by a landslide. But granted, it's still early in the year, but you know what I mean. The fact that this many people are pre-ordering the game already this far in advance is an indication of an absolutely massive launch, so let's just hope the game is ready for it. Now, in addition to the people pre-ordering, the Hogwarts Legacy Steam page has been getting tons of traffic, unfortunately, from hate raids and mobs of people trying to keep people from buying it. Apparently, a bunch of people hopped on Steam and tried to spam the Hogwarts Legacy store page with inaccurate tags with the goal of preventing it from appearing in the search results. It's also 100% guaranteed at this point that the Hogwarts Legacy store page is going to be review bombed on launch day by people upset at the comments that were made by the IP's creator. I know a lot of people have a take on this. I personally don't want to get into the topic on this video, but just expect things to get a bit spicy leading up to the launch. Now, with the game launching in a month, it seems more and more likely that there will be a third and final gameplay showcase along with the launch trailer. Major games like this often show off a ton of new stuff right before the game goes live to maximize the hype that they've generated from previous marketing efforts and give some of the people that are currently on the fence on whether or not they should buy Hogwarts Legacy or not, give them one final reason why they should go out and buy it and spend money and time to play this game. Large-scale games like this are a tough market due to the fact that the games are usually pretty massive, so not only are you demanding a lot of the player's time, but you're also walking a fine line between revealing too much and too little of the side content, which can make the game feel bigger or smaller than intended if done wrong. Marketing brand new games like this is really tough. That's why big gameplay drops, like we saw with the previous two gameplay showcases, is the best method, and they've already been wildly successful for Hogwarts Legacy. Legacy, which is why I am fully confident that there will be at least one more gameplay showcase. It's also possible that there's going to be some kind of creator capture event. Obviously, from the last two gameplay showcases, those had content creators in them, so I've got a feeling that they will likely do that same thing leading up to the release of the game. Now, I was not personally invited to anything. This is just my personal speculation, but the gaming world and the online marketing world are so connected that it's really important to make sure that everyone is hyped as possible on the game's launch day, and if that means letting people see it and play it early for positive word of mouth, I think that's personally great. Not only does it let the consumer see the product before committing to a purchase, but it also shows that Warner Bros. Is so confident in their final product, they want as many people to see the game and as much of it as possible that doesn't spoil anything before the game goes live. So I am personally hoping we get some kind of third gameplay showcase in the next couple of weeks, particularly in the form of raw gameplay. Moving on, let's talk about the new gameplay that we actually did get. The Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account recently dropped some new little gameplay snippets that show off some awesome spells in action. The Twitter account also showed off new potions and crafting potions. First off, we've got the Edurus potion, which seems to be a defensive buff. There is also going to be the Wiggenweld potion for restoring the player's health. There's also a brand new gameplay clip for Incendio, which looks so freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie, I don't want to give people flashbacks to Ness in Smash 4, but I think a lot of people are going to be standing PK Fire with me whenever we can. And then just yesterday, the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account showed off even more gameplay that we have never seen before. The video was centered around the Accio spell. Now in the first clip, it shows the player in the library pulling a book to them with Accio, which I've just got to say right now, the library looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to break into the restricted section. That's probably going to be one of the first things that I do in the library. The next clip, we see a player from inside of a mine, but the most important part of this clip is the actual icons on the bottom right. Now these icons are actually completely different from the PS5 buttons, which tells me that this gameplay is on a PS4, or at the very least, it is on the PS4 controller. It might be on PC. And then for the last clip, the player is using Accio to summon a poacher stalker up closer to them, which will make it a lot easier to perform combo spells to take down the poacher stalker. Now the highlight of this clip is the section for dueling feats. The feats are as follows: slice a poacher duelist while they're casting Reducto, slow a poacher executioner after they release their blast attack, and launch an enemy into a destructible object with the pulso.
We switched to Liberty Mutual and saved $652. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. With the money we saved, I would probably want the unicycles. Careful, babe. Saving was definitely easier.
Hey, babe, I think I got
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Okay, show off. Only pay.
Now, moving on, for those of you that missed it, in the last gameplay showcase, we saw the player character turn somebody into a chicken during combat, so we know that Transfiguration is confirmed in this game, at least to some degree, which has many fans speculating and wondering whether or not we will see a Transfiguration classroom. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Transfiguration is a family of magical spells in the Harry Potter universe that can turn objects into other objects, and it seems like a pretty awesome addition to a game like Hogwarts Legacy. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much clarity on whether or not there will be enough spells to warrant a full class. Now, we do know at least one Transfiguration spell was shown off in the last gameplay showcase, like I said, but with the recent update to the website's FAQ page, one of the questions was regarding what kind of spells will be learned at Hogwarts Academy, and while Transfiguration was not explicitly mentioned, some on Twitter and Reddit have theorized that the door is left open for it. According to the website, in response to one of the questions about classes, it states many lessons you know and love from the Harry Potter stories will be available to master in Hogwarts Legacy, such as potions, charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, history of magic, and beyond, which kind of leaves the door open for more things to be in the final build of the game. Having the phrase "and beyond" makes it pretty clear that the list wasn't complete, so now all that really needs to be confirmed is whether or not Transfiguration class will play into that. Now, we did get some unfortunate news about a highly anticipated gameplay feature that will sadly not be in the launch build of the game, and it doesn't seem like it will be added post-launch either, or at least there doesn't seem to be any plan to add them post-launch, since we haven't heard anything about it. In a recent tweet from the official Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account, it was confirmed that you can connect your Wizarding World house and wand to the game. We obviously learned that a long time ago, but it doesn't say anything about your Patronus charm. And since we haven't heard anything about the Patronus in the marketing yet, it's really starting to look like this feature won't be in the game at all. It's possible you'll get a Patronus at some point in the story, but as far as importing your existing personal Patronus in the game, that's likely not going to happen, which is a bit of a shame for the sake of the fandom, but from the developer's perspective, I guess it makes sense to not prioritize a feature like this. I hope they'll reconsider, because I know a lot of people are going to be role-playing as their Wizarding World character in Hogwarts Legacy, so it would be awesome to have your own personal Patronus in the game, along with the other features that will sync up like your house and your wand. It's possible that these will be added post-launch, but with the lack of information we have on it, I really wouldn't bet on it appearing at any point. Next up, we have some news regarding the story of Hogwarts Legacy, and in case you were unaware, we've been told from the very beginning that the plot of Hogwarts Legacy is going to heavily revolve around the Goblin Rebellion, but it's sounding like that might not be the case. According to recent interviews and promotional material, it's looking like the Goblin Rebellion is actually going to be a subplot of the game, and not actually the main conflict of the story. In fact, the Hogwarts Legacy FAQ page explicitly called the Goblin Rebellion a subplot of the game. Now, there is the possibility that they decided to lean less on the Goblin Rebellion due to avoiding potential conflict among the more outspoken individuals against Hogwarts Legacy. But this also could showcase how large the game actually is. Some people on Reddit have also theorized that the Goblin Rebellion stuff in the promotional material could have just been a misdirection to keep the really juicy stuff under wraps, which would honestly make total sense. Hogwarts Legacy is a freaking huge game, and I seriously doubt that the Goblin Rebellion will be where most of the really interesting stuff is going to happen. It's likely that the Goblin Rebellion was the easiest of the plots to put in the trailers, which would make total sense thanks to the cool combat shots that it gave us. It's also totally possible that the marketing was always going to focus on certain subplots and slowly reveal more as the release date gets closer. So naturally, we wouldn't know much about the overarching conflict just yet. The point I'm getting at is there are plenty of reasonable explanations as to why the Goblin Rebellion is now being treated like a subplot to the overall game. With the game only a month away, it shouldn't be too long before we have a definitive answer. Hogwarts Legacy is coming out February 10th and even earlier with the early access period. By the time this video goes up, we will hopefully get some kind of confirmation about a third gameplay showcase or some type of showcase. Maybe PlayStation has one of those PS5 showcases planned that has been highly rumored for the last 6 months. A ton of new information is coming out very quickly leading up to the launch, and the marketing campaign is likely going to get very in your face within the next couple of weeks, so be sure to prepare for that. Assuming all of the pre-order numbers keep going at the pace they are, this may end up being the biggest launch of 2023, possibly even bigger than the Spider-Man 2 launch, since this game is multi-platform and Spider-Man 2 is locked to the PS5. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. Do you think we're going to get a gameplay showcase this month? Let me know in the comment section below.
That is a place of death and sacrifice. And you think your artifact is there? Yes. No, none who has come has ever returned.
I'd be willing to try.
You would risk it simply to stop the cult. Yes. Bring him in.
Turner.
Are you okay?
Do you know this man?
He's my best friend. Abby.
She's fine.
Who else is looking for you? I believe we're seeking the same thing. We will bring you to the serpent with the silver arm, but we'll keep you friendly. You won't get very far if you're lying, and he will not be comfortable. Let's get this one. Uhtred.
My bad. I was going.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
We were left with an end screen that simply said, "Coming soon" in the North American and
Pretty nice place.
Quiet. And in Japan, it clearly said 2023, causing a lot of debate and speculation online on whether or not Nintendo was watching on different times in different parts of the world, and a lot of fans might still be included.
This is incredible.
December, Nintendo Switch Online title essentially is based that on by launching Mario Party 1 and 2 in the month of November. But that clearly did not happen, and everybody is now calling into question what is Nintendo's definition of
I'm gonna do this part and then maybe back travel and see if I forgot anything. Because there's a lot of stuff that I've missed. What might be because of the materials, don't have the right materials right here.
I don't know your name. I apologize.
on January
As the rebel
25th,
leader,
and we have a
I have to be
breakdown to
careful.
discuss whether or not we should
I am the rightful queen.
GoldenEye
Only that.
announcement to be this event right now.
Etzli? Still
Llama.
owning the statue?
Yes, there was one thing this morning. I saw Hakan debating with his neighbor. He seemed angry. As I came near, they suddenly stopped talking.
As mentioned, guys, today we are talking all things GoldenEye, and just recently on the channel, we talked about the state of Nintendo Switch Online currently, and yeah, we definitely feel like we are in a little bit of a drought as gamers, and I can see from the comment section from you guys that a lot of you are feeling that way right now when you've paid upfront for a service for 12 months and we have no clear communication around when Nintendo will add in new games to the service, but certainly one that will justify the price point for a lot of fans.
Left.
Is 007 GoldenEye, and while not everybody may appreciate this game for what it has to offer in the modern day, if you were alive and playing video games when this originally came out on the N64, you know just how revolutionary of a title this was when it comes to experiencing things like 3D first-person shooters on consoles. And I am saying this as somebody who is in the modern day not a big first-person shooter guy. Just about everyone I know is deeply invested in Call of Duty Warzone 2 right now and played Warzone before, and I can't bring myself to get fully immersed in that world. However, one world I did fully get immersed into, both multiplayer and just the single-player campaign, was GoldenEye. It was that big of a deal when it was out. It was hours and hours of fun on split-screen multiplayer
Maybe
with
that
friends
one's
and
underneath,
switching
I don't
different
know.
modes, having the golden gun where one shot immediately kills you, doing the paintball cheat where you're painting over the walls instead of bullets. God forbid you turn on proximity mines and have a fun match with stuff like that. It was just hours and hours of endless fun, and this game has had a ton of red tape around its release. As back in 2007, 2008 time frame, Xbox with their Rare development team decided to go ahead and do a remaster project for GoldenEye before they put all the development effort in, before they got official signatures from all parties involved, being Nintendo, Microsoft, and MGM, to greenlight the project. And that is actually a playable, very version of GoldenEye that you can download and emulate on a PC today, when it never saw the light of day because of all of the complications of clearing the rights to this game when there are different parties involved that want their piece of the pie. And in a surprise segment at the last Nintendo Direct, we of course got the confirmation that
This
a deal
is a
has
traditional
been reached and that GoldenEye will be coming over. And we did talk about it into its lead because we saw Rare developers unlock new features for a different version of GoldenEye that was not the Xbox Live Arcade version. So clearly there was enough smoke around this that there was probably a fire, and indeed that did turn out to be true. But now we are left waiting with why did they announce this all the way back in September at that Direct if it wasn't even releasing in that calendar year at all? And we are now in 2023, just wondering what the heck does coming soon mean to Nintendo. I'm ready to play GoldenEye. I'm sure you are ready to play GoldenEye. We all want to be able to experience this game. Interestingly enough, we will have it launching both on Xbox Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online, presumably at the same time. And with that, there are actually some feature differences as we touched up with better visuals, of course, in terms of the pixelation. It's not going to look like an N64 game. It's going to look like every single game that you play on NSO, which is brighter, more vibrant visuals, and clearly a much higher resolution. But a good thing that the NSO does have is online multiplayer, albeit at the cost of not having the front screen. We're going to have those black bars on the side that I believe probably have lower frame rate and lower resolution than what run on Xbox, which on Xbox Game Pass, that sounds fantastic as well, a lot of fun. But while you can get things like 4K resolution, 60 FPS, and native voice stream support, and all of those modern enhancements, you will not have the ability to have online
Huh?
play with friends. And there are a lot of back and forth
I have
on
no
whether
clue.
or not that's on Nintendo's
I
end
didn't.
as their exclusive features they want to come out with, and lead the charge as being the ideal platform that people will want to sign up for expansion pack to drive subscription sales for them. Maybe it's that just tied to the fact that this is being developed through Rare Replay, and that is, at its core, is not capable of online play. However, I still think that if Microsoft really wanted to prove it off and put it in there and it could just put it online, that likely they would have online play. It is now being
Really? think you can climb up that.
Translated end of January equals GoldenEye 007. Now, I'm not personally putting any stock into that Twitter account, not familiar with them at all, but I do think it is an interesting conversation to be had that maybe Nintendo wasn't even one Microsoft in a showcase of their own wants to actually and could it just be a shadow drop at that Microsoft showcase? We know to expect a lot of development updates with 2023
Dude, why can't I get through there?
Xbox Game Pass
Yeah, I
account
can't,
is
yeah.
hyping this thing up, urging people to tune into the event and may just need to drive the Game Pass games that they see coming out throughout the rest of 2023. It could also be that they're buying
It's a bit humbling to be here in Paititi. I didn't foresee any of this. I was expecting an ancient place, artifacts, tombs. I just failed to imagine people. I was so focused on the trail of clues, I didn't even stop to wonder. I didn't mean to interfere, but Trinity's here.
And considering we don't have any official Nintendo 64 game added into Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack in the month of January, it would make all the sense in the world to shadow drop it as an announcement, and Nintendo tweets out shortly after the event. But guess what? Hop into your expansion pack and download GoldenEye right now on the N64. I personally am holding out hope that that is a likely scenario, albeit not guaranteed. But I really want to hear from you guys around the lead up to this GoldenEye launch on the Switch and the Xbox. Are you excited to be checking this thing out once again once it does drop? Are you going to be booting it up on Game Pass and playing through it primarily there? Or will you be hopping into online play with friends first thing? I think the way I'm personally going to do it is download it on Game Pass for the single player campaign experience, and then on the NSO version, just hop into multiplayer rounds with friends. And do you think that Nintendo has waited far too long to even talk about this game, and maybe it shouldn't have been at that September Direct? And what do you think about the overall launch build-up to this game? Do you think that Nintendo shouldn't have actually been the ones to reveal it at the September Direct, since it's been so long since we've heard anything about it? And can you see the possibility of Microsoft actually being the one responsible for shadow dropping it, or just telling us the for sure launch date? And when do you personally believe make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. Now we'll see you guys in the next video.
If you run out of points, you're gonna have to top up 500. Play our game.
So 2023 is now well underway, and of course, us Nintendo Switch gamers are awaiting the next major Nintendo Direct event, the first one to kick off the year that will likely bring in a plethora of brand new game announcements. However, interestingly, Nintendo has actually taken to the internet to update and build out a specific webpage focusing on their 2023 games roadmap. And in today's video, I want to take a look at that entire webpage together, break down which notable releases we already know to expect, highlight which ones we should definitely mark on our calendars to check out, and have a broad conversation on how 2023 so far is lining up for the Nintendo Switch when it comes to new games right now.
Beware. We've uncovered a wolf den in the area. But then again, maybe that is why you're here.
What do you mean?
The gods have sent one outsider to hunt another. Very appropriate. Best of luck on your hunt.
Notification icon. You're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As mentioned, guys, today we are taking a look at a specific web page over on Nintendo's official website. However, it is the UK version of their Nintendo.com website. But I found this type up pretty fascinating because I do think they may do something like this for the US region as well. But it is them straight out promoting and outlining their 2023 games roadmap. And while we do have a similar website on the official Nintendo Switch section of upcoming releases, there's a little bit more work that goes into this, both news article style on how the 2023 Nintendo Switch games lineup is looking so far. And right at the top, you can see the statement, here's how 2023 is shaping up on Nintendo Switch. And while, yes, I'm sure we are around the corner for many additional announcements we can be talking about, and that's
A little advice. Stay out of the wilderness, friend. Something dangerous prowls out there. This is as near as I ever go. And even then, I make sure not to keep my back to the jungle for too long at a time.
On their list is Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden, both out January 19th, mind you. And these are fantastic story-driven JRPG games that I honestly need to get more into and give more of a chance to the entire Persona series. It is beloved by fans, and it has been highly anticipated to come to the Switch.
Do you believe that major events in life can be traced back to a single moment? I do. Take what's happening now. Had Amaru and Sairi not fought that day during the famine? And had Sairi not insisted, despite Amaru's wishes, that it should be him who would go beyond the safety of the borders to hunt for the village, perhaps things would be different today. You see, Amaru felt responsible for his brother's death. I heard him the night they pulled Sairi's body from the wilderness. He was beside himself with grief. I think it was the moment. It broke Amaru. He took complete control of Paititi after that. He wanted to protect us all.
Extreme levels of success, but there's so much character recognition due to their integration in the Smash Bros. Series, and people that get hooked into this franchise, once they are hooked, cannot get away from them. So this is an exciting addition.
He couldn't protect
for the
Sairi.
Nintendo Switch 2023 lineup, in my opinion, and getting us kicked off in a strong foot when we talk about the January games lineup.
I caught a fish once at home, in the well.
Just about 9 days
Papa
to go
says it's
from the
because
time
there are
filming
tunnels
this
filled
video.
with water under some houses. Funny, huh?
Octopath Traveler 2 is next up on the list, out February 24th. A lot of people did not think that we would get a sequel to the original Octopath Traveler.
Can't figure out the dialect. I must be missing something.
Let's be honest, probably the most beautiful HD 2D
Yeah, the education.
style game. I think when it comes to a presentation of a love letter of classic SNES era games, they don't get any more visually pleasing than this, and that will be out February 24th. And on that same
Yeah.
we have yet another Kirby game in Nintendo's lineup. Kirby has gotten so much love recently, but this is actually
Do I?
a classic Wii known as Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
Come here, I can't hear you.
And this is one that I can see myself having a ton of
I don't have enough space for that.
co-op element. Playing against some friends locally, unfortunately, does not look like online play.
No, because I gave it to you.
For this, even though it very much should be. But when it comes to a
Why?
Kirby,
Why?
Are you okay?
Am I taking you to work?
Pisco the Dead took my dice.
I'll take
No
you,
one
tell her.
believes me. But he took them.
A dead man took your dice. Are you sure you didn't lose them?
Ugh, you're as bad as the rest of them.
Sorry, you're right. I'll tell you what, I'll pay very close attention, and if I see Pisco the Dead, I'll ask for your dice back.
Really? You believe me?
It wouldn't be the first time the dead seemed to speak to me.
First direct of the year, any later than the middle part of February. So around then, we should know more as far as what the rest of this roadmap will look like. They had done an Origins one that was given to the Game Awards 2022. Now, this is a game that I think you could argue at first glance does not really warrant a $30 price point, and that's what we'll be launching at. So I will definitely be sitting on the sideline looking into reviews for this. But I do think it's cool that Bayonetta's getting more of a deep-cut story for the fans that really want to know the lore of the series. And it does have a unique art style, just one that I don't think catches that $60 AAA look to it. I definitely think this could have been sold as a $30 or $40 title, maybe even a eShop drop only. But regardless, this is storybook-inspired adventure, and I think a little bit more puzzle-focused as well. The trailer, and that will round out the entire month of March with what we know to expect. Now, then we skip the month of April at that point. Could we just wait a full year and advance towards 1+2 reboot camp? Just surprise drop a full year after it was originally supposed to come out? That's what I would think is likely to happen.
I gotta go. I gotta take my daughter to work. I'll be back on, man. Sorry. Thanks for coming and watching.